All right, so we're here, Ska Brewing 20th Anniversary Festival with Matt and Billy from Real Big Fish. How the fuck... Is it weird drinking beer out of a glass that has your own band name in it?
It's awesome.
Kind of like it.
Yeah. I've got a couple of these from the last time, from the 17th anniversary party at home, and I still drink out of them on a daily. I make iced coffee and I put that in them. Because generally when I'm having beer, I've got all my different fancy glasses for the different
the different
specific
flavors.
beers. So the regular pint glasses get used for iced coffee and water, but no, it feels good. It feels like we've really made it. And this time, we actually, well, we'll probably get to this, but we actually have our own beer here this time.
What?
Did you know about that?
Yes.
Okay.
But you can tell me about it. You can tell these kids about it.
Am I jumping the gun here?
Yeah. No.
Okay.
This is just a free-flowing chat.
Okay, so...
Someone drinking beers.
Yeah, you know.
So, well, we can just start with this story then. In January, me and Billy and John, trumpet player and Derek, bass player, got to go to Wincoop and do a collaboration beer with Wincoop and Ska Brewing. And we brewed an Imperial Stout.
Yep.
And it's been sitting
bourbon
in
barrels?
Whiskey barrels.
Yeah, bourbon. Bourbon's whiskey.
Yeah, it's a kind of but I think this wasn't bourbon.
I thought it was bourbon. I thought it was local bourbon.
Delicious barrels.
Either way,
it's been sitting in barrels since January.
Had oak in it.
Yeah, so it's here.
Good. It's heavy.
It's 10%. It's a good stout, and it's really something else to drink.
Yeah.
A beer that you made with your name on it out of a glass.
With your name on it. Yeah. What was the process like of designing a beer?
They really did the designing.
Yeah, because we don't know what we're doing. Yeah. They designed it, and then
we just did like some of the work.
Yeah, well, we got in there that morning, and they like had the sheet of all the different malts and the different hops and stuff, and they asked us what we thought about it, and we're like, no idea.
Yeah, we had the professionals make the recipe.
Yes, but they had us like, they like before we started brewing, we like each like tasted all the different malts. We're like chewing on the malts and smelling the hops and stuff, and they're asking what we thought about it. So we could have chosen to change it, but trust the experts, right?
Yeah.
And then so pretty much our role in it was scooping hops and malts into different buckets and putting them in the chute that sucks them up like the things in the bank.
This.
And then the spent grain, shoveling that into a wheelbarrow and wheeling it out and dumping it into a dumpster, slipping on the floor, wearing our big rubber boots and stuff, and we did some stirring too, didn't we? Some stirring,
a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Well, being in a band, with the song Beer, you've been doing this a long time as a whole. Why did it take so long for you guys to finally make your own beer?
Well, because up until probably like 6 years ago or so, nobody was really into beer in the band, I'd say. It was pretty much only Dan Regan.
Yeah.
And then nobody else was really a connoisseur.
It was really like a perfect storm when it happened, too. It wasn't like elaborately thought and planned and all this stuff. It was more like we got in from the airport. It was like, oh, they want to brew beer tomorrow. It's like, okay. Then they did. I mean, it was really Wincoop doing the legwork, because we didn't really, it's not like we were actively searching people and trying to do all these things. Like, they were approached us and were like, yeah, so we'll take care of, you just show up.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things that we would have done at any time, especially within the last 5 years since the craft beer thing's really exploded, and since we've all gotten really interested in it, and since Dan, our old trombone player, really was into it. Yeah. I guess it just took somebody asking us, or more than just asking us, just like saying, let's do this.
Cool.
Yeah.
Because before that, everybody's like, yeah, you guys should make a beer. We're like, yeah, we should.
It's
and,
different.
And our manager was like, I'm going to make a beer, and we'll do that.
I think most of it, I think, but even with that, like, this beer is not like, it's not in a bottle, it's not on the shelf, it's a small little batch that we did, and it's, you're going to drink it today at this festival, and then that's it. It's not
getting sold.
That's why I almost don't even, we Real Big Fish made a beer, but it's not like, oh my god, here's the Real Big Fish product.
It's not like Iron Maiden beer that I see.
Right, exactly.
It's not that.
This isn't a Real Big Fish beer.
It's
I mean, this was just us building our relationship with
we're just having a good time. We showed up.
That's why we're here again today, because we were hanging out with them, and we're like, hey, we should play your place again. Oh, we've got a 20th anniversary coming up. So hopefully, this is the beginning of more collaborations, and maybe there'll be an official Real Big Fish beer that gets sold in stores someday. I would love that. I think we would all love it, and it's just a matter of connecting with the brewery to make it happen. So I mean, we're probably in the right place this time.
Especially today.
Yeah.
So we were sitting here today talking about your new beer, but do you remember your first beer? That first time, that magical elixir.
Well, I remember my first beer. Yeah, it was a Killian's Irish Red.
I was a Keystone Light.
Ooh. Where were you?
I didn't drink until I got to college, so I didn't drink in high school. I was a
late bloomer too.
Yeah, I was a band nerd, and all my like spare time was taken up with soccer and stuff like that. Anyway, when I got to college,
humping.
Also in college, everything started in college. So my friend Dave, I joined an a cappella group when I started college, and I went to my first party with that a cappella group, and one of the guys he was 2 years older than me, he gave me my first beer, and I drank it, and I remember I was nervous. And I don't remember what it tasted like. I remember I was sitting on the floor at Elizabeth Harrison's house and drinking a Killian's, and that's all I remember, really.
Felt good, man.
I remember the first beer I liked was the Magic Hat No. 9. I'm from Vermont. Magic Hat No. 9 was like the first... You know, this is before everybody had all these fancy beers, and it was just like... You didn't have much craft beer. Yeah. But there was Magic Hat, and there was Otter Creek and Rock Art in Vermont. And so I started diving into Magic Hat, and I really liked that stuff. And then I discovered Rock Art Brewing, and I started drinking all the Rock Art stuff, and they had this Ridge Runner barley wine that I really liked. So that all happened within like 6 months of having my first beer. So I did okay.
Yeah. And then you start playing in bands, and the beers are ever flowing,
yeah.
Never ending.
Yeah.
Tell me about this Keystone.
Yeah.
I was freshman year of high school.
Hell yeah.
I was at my friend Danny's house. His brother was 2 years older, so they were junior in high school. Having some friends over, playing some drinking games. Had 4 Keystone Lights and was probably hammered. It was great. That's about all I remember. I remember eating pizza too. I remember having broccoli and cheese pizza. It was a white pizza with no sauce. I don't know why I remember that.
Pizza. What do you mean you don't know why you remember that? You remember food. You remember all food.
Yeah, that's true. I'm pretty good. I remember when I eat.
It was probably the best tasting thing in the world at that time.
I think the messed up part is how many more Keystones I drank after that.
Yeah.
It was a solid period of my life, I feel like, where I was drinking a lot of Keystone Light.
Well, you're drinking whatever shows up. It's not like you have much of a choice.
Exactly.
Yeah. See, I was lucky when I got into the drinking. All my friends had already been doing it for years, and I got into it late. I was a straight edge kid. Thank God I don't have any tattoos. But they started me out with the good stuff, and then I'd take a sip of PBR and be like, oh, this is disgusting. And slowly I've kind of mellowed up, you know.
Right, you found the middle ground.
Found the middle ground, and I'm a raging alcoholic now. That's why I drove 6 hours for the best beer festival in the world. So you guys played this beer festival 4 years ago. You're back again.
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to this time? Why should people make the trek to Durango, Colorado?
I'm gonna try not to drink as much as last time.
Oh shit. Right? It's kind of hard not to, though.
It's impossible not to, especially with people got a lot of special beers out there. That's one thing I noticed about these places. They're not.
They've got all these.
No one's got their sure people have like one of their staple beers, but it's not like. I mean, every one of those places has something crazy, or more than one thing crazy. There's a lot of crazy good beer.
Why should people drive here?
Every good brewery, like the best breweries in the world.
Yeah,
are here.
I'm pretty excited. Dogfish is here.
Yeah,
they're here. I mean, and then between all the good Colorado beers with like Odell and Breckenridge and Wynkoop and all that stuff, you get Stone and Firestone and Stone from California.
Why aren't they sitting together?
There's so much, and they all have good beer.
Yeah, and and the Mad Caddies are awesome.
Yeah.
I was listening to their sound check, and they sound so good.
Yeah,
I was getting
Vinyl
nervous
Records
listening
playing
to them.
right now.
They sound way better than we do. But then Julie said that we did sound good.
Well, that's good.
We've been playing a lot of shows. We're gonna sound good. It'll be fine.
Oh yeah,
everything's gonna be fun.
So you guys are going to spend the whole day drinking. What kind of preparation, what kind of hard work do you put into getting ready for this momentous occasion of never-ending beer?
The first thing you got to do is you got to grab the cup.
Grab it? Okay.
Yeah.
And then slowly lift.
Wait, you got to put beer in it first.
Yeah, I'm struggling.
We all have beer, but say you didn't have beer, you got to get a cup.
Yeah.
And then you got to go to one of the tents that has beer, and then you get beer poured into it, and then you lift it and you drink it.
Well, there's no like special ritual like, man, I have to eat hash browns today. 'Cause hash browns
beer drinking
soak it
usually.
up.
Just beer drinking. That's why I think we're such a good fit for playing this festival.
Yeah, I have my saxophone sitting next to the stage. You have your trombone next to the stage.
Yeah.
We're just gonna drink and then
Mosey on over.
I might
to
put
the
on
stage.
shoes.
I'm gonna put on a suit.
I'm wearing sandals. Yeah.
I'm just on a suit. Don't worry.
It's okay.
I used to have this like thing that I used to like warm up my voice and like do some push-ups and
You do
jumping jacks and
sometimes
stuff.
still.
Sometimes I still do if my voice is rough. But no, there's not really any rituals.
No.
Yeah.
Get into the stage on time so Tom doesn't yell at us.
Yeah, you got to get there on
Even
time.
though he never yells. He just spanks
Maybe
it.
we should start some rituals.
Yeah, I'd be down. Like sacrifice like some kind of like goat or something before we play.
Are there any survival tips you have? Like drink lots of water?
Yeah,
So,
just know what you're doing. You know, you can't like I just drank a 4% blackberry goza because you know I've had.
Yeah, you can't
You can't go to every tent and be like, I want 10% beer, 10% beer, 13% beer. You gotta kind of
and you got to make sure to keep food in your belly.
drink water.
Drink a glass of water for every beer.
Simple things.
Yeah.
And you know, like for us, we
Don't be
generally
an
we have a show every day generally. So like, and if you're drinking every day, which we are, and you have a show every day,
You gotta do it. There's a right and a wrong way to do it.
yeah, it's all about hydration, plenty of sleep, good food.
And bad food.
Bad food's the best.
I don't know.
Good stuff.
Not like
Still-
not like we do a good job with that. We're in a rough place most of the time.
It's better to ask for forgiveness than
Johnny's
ask
napping right now because he's
Exactly.
hungover.
Yeah.
He just left home we were home for 3 days and he was already wound up from being at home that we got in last night and he's drinking Johnny Walker we drank Black Label out of the bottle, passing it around to us and we just said, oh thank, and we just passed it on to the next person, don't touch it. And he's like, ah! So he's napping, that's why he's not here at the interview.
I'm gonna go hang out with him.
I was pounding beers last night pretty good. Went to a little barbecue that Ska had at the VFW. They had this beer, the 20th anniversary.
Woo-wee, woo-wee.
And so when you guys are traveling, what do you guys look for in the local microbrews? Do you have some favorites out there? We're like, holy shit,
Of course.
can't wait to get to Idaho Springs,
Fort Collins.
Fort Collins, yeah.
Absolutely.
Durango.
There's places that we target because we know we like their beer already. And then otherwise, we're looking for places that brew their own beer or have a good selection but also have good food. You know, because there are these... You can tell by looking at the menu, there's all these places that are trying to latch onto the craft beer thing and they make these restaurants that the menu looks good, but it's all Cisco food truck shit. And the food is uninspired and it's clearly just businessmen getting in on the movement and everything is average at best.
You look for that authenticity.
Yeah, you got to look for some authenticity. You
Real
look for
flavors. If you've had the good beer, we've been to so many places that we've been to enough good places that the bad places stick out like a sore thumb. You know what I mean? It's so easy to go to a place and be like, wow, this place sucks. Because it's if you go to, Founders, or if you go to these places and you're or Avery or the good, awesome breweries,
Bell's.
it's and you're okay, that's how you do it. When you go into a shitty one, it doesn't.
Yeah, it's easy,
instantly.
easy to
You
spot
take
the
one
bad
sip of
ones.
the beer, you look at the food,
So usually we get somewhere and we go on Yelp, and we used to just look for anything within walking distance, but now Uber's happening,
Yeah.
so we can look anywhere within 10 miles or so.
Or more.
Or more, and we just if we don't know where to go already, which we usually do because we've been around everywhere already.
And you two are the co-conspirators in this quest.
And Derek, the bass player,
and Johnny too.
He doesn't talk much. Yeah, John's in on it. He just doesn't look for a place usually.
But he will. I mean, he pulls through, I feel like.
Yeah.
Maybe this is a question for him, but what's the most amount of trouble you guys have gotten into before a show, after a show?
I've never gotten in trouble in this band. Not once.
Pretty good about it.
I think we all fear getting in trouble, to be honest with you. I think none of us want to fuck this up. Ooh, I don't know if you can swear, but...
Yeah, sure.
I think we've all been swearing.
Yeah. As far... I mean, besides, having a little too much to drink before we play every now and again, that's really the worst of it.
None of us have... We've never really gotten in any big trouble. Just...
We don't do anything that... We're not,
just drinking too much and not feeling well and throwing up and...
Yeah.
Or not being
We're pretty
on
boring
time.
as far as it goes.
Yeah.
But that's because this is our career, right?
Yeah.
We're not
I want to be able to get into all the countries still. And, getting in big trouble means...
You can't get into Canada with a DUI.
Yeah, it's
Right,
hard.
it's
Yeah,
impossible.
Exactly.
You can't get into Canada if you have anything on
You
your
can't
record.
get into Canada, period. If you play in
They're
a
really
band,
fussy.
they hate people in bands.
Yeah. So let's end this. Let's wrap it up. Let's end something for the kids. The kids that are out there listening.
Kids, okay.
Why should they stay away? Why should they stay away from beer? Or should they? Should they have that first high school experience like you did?
I do, yeah, for sure.
Maybe when it's
For
right
better,
for them.
for better or for worse.
Yeah.
I think everyone's got to go through, like, take what life throws at you. Like, you can't try to say, oh, well, if you, I mean, there's a different story for everything. Some people, like, they'll start drinking and their first beer, they'll, you know, something horrible will happen to them, you know, or you never know.
Yeah.
But then you can drink and drive for 20 years and you might never get in trouble once. And so I think you just got to take it as it comes. And if you feel like you're, like, you know, listen to your gut. Like, for me, I was with my best friends and people are drinking beer. It's not like they're forcing me to, like, binge drink out of a funnel or doing this. You know what I mean? It's, every situation's different.
Yeah.
And I think I think everything's decent in moderation.
Well, the European model is nice, you know, where you have, even when you're a kid, you have a beer or a wine at meals. And that's pretty awesome. And nowadays, when we have all this like really good beer, and it's not just Keystone Light and shit like that, like it should be a thing where the whole family's involved or something, you know. And you like have like nice beers, like low ABV, nice beers that you like have together, and it could be cool.
There's way worse things in the world, especially if the beer is made well. Like, if you're talking about the big companies like Budweiser and stuff, you never know what they're doing with their cornness and all however they're making their beer so
Corn and
good.
rice.
But yeah, rice and I don't know, it's not really the best ingredients in the world. But if you're drinking, I mean, this stuff's happening naturally. You know, you're using quality ingredients, real things, and that's happening naturally. Then.
You're happening naturally.
Thanks, man. I think it's just like anything else. Like, it's good in moderation. I mean, how are you gonna tell your kid you can't eat ice cream? You know, I don't know. It's just like anything. You can't. I don't think one evil is worse than the other. All the evils are extra awesome, and I think you should partake in all of them. That don't kill you.
All right, guys. What's coming up next after this 20th anniversary party?
We've got a week and a half off. Then we're heading to Japan
Hell yeah.
to play shows with Kamuri for their 20th anniversary tour.
And Less Than Jake.
Less Than Jake, Skank and Pickle.
Reunion.
Fuck yeah.
From there.
And
Australia.
Yeah, Australia with Less Than Jake.
Hawaii.
Hawaii with Less Than Jake.
Another
It's
new
Not
record
Dead
in the
Festival.
works?
Nope.
Nope.
No?
Maybe soon.
Maybe, who knows?
We're not really like planners with that. I feel like it was the same with the Christmas thing. Aaron will one day just be like, got these songs.
Cool.
I don't know.
Well,
track him down.
and right now we just lost our studio too. The landlord jacked up the rent, so we had to bail on our
Relocating.
studio. So we're relocating. We're looking for a new spot, so we don't have a place to record at the moment. But there will be new stuff. In the meantime, lots of shows. We're playing the It's Not Dead Fest in San Bernardino
Which
with
is
like
crazy.
every awesome punk band ever on October 10th.
Going to Europe for a month.
Yep, we're doing full UK Europe tour, October and November.
Thailand, Indonesia.
Thailand and Indonesia, yeah.
Thailand's pretty
Bangkok.
awesome.
Yeah,
Bangkok.
we're going to Bangkok and we're going to Bandung, Indonesia. We're spreading out,
Hell yeah.
playing a
fun.
ska festival in Indonesia, so like stuff's happening down there.
And I
Things
take
are
it
looking
you'll be
good.
Drinking lots of beer.
We
Yeah.
will be.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely,
Speaking
the
of
whole
which.
time.
Yeah, we need to go get some more. Gentlemen, it was fun. Thanks for hanging
Good
out and
meeting you,
chatting
man.
with us.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
We'll do this again another time at another brewery.
Yeah, anytime, yeah.
Yeah.
We're around.
Yeah. We'll make this happen.
Oh, yeah.
Bye, guys. Thanks.
See ya.
And